Here we go, Chakras Demystified Masterclass. So we're going to go right in. This masterclass will be just over an hour because there's so much information here. But I really wanted to give you the tools and different practices on what you can do yourself at home to manage your own energy body. Okay. So we actually have 114 chakras in total, but we mainly concentrate on the 7 primary chakras. That's because all like our meridian lines, are like energy pathways, all all interconnect within these 7 chakras that are based basically on our spine. And these chakras are they affect our affect us physically, they affect our organs, they affect our glands. So if there is an imbalance in one chakra, everything else is out of balance. So say if you have any bit of stress, if you are if there's emotional upset, any bit of trauma, there is an imbalance in a chakra, say one of the chakras, and then everything else becomes kind of scattered, and you become emotionally upset, and there is no proper flow of prana, or like life force energy within you. So chakras are energy centers, so within the body, that help regulate all its transactions. So there are many chakras in the body, but we really concentrate on the 7 chakras. So one, root chakra, starts at the bottom of the spine, all the way up then to the top, at the top of the head, which is the crown chakra. So each chakra has its own unique purpose and vibrational frequency that helps keep you healthy and balanced. So blocked energy in any of the chakras can lead to illness and disease in the body. So it is important to understand each chakra and how to keep the energy balanced and clear. So we're just going to go into the root. So root, so Sanskrit name, for anybody who doesn't know what Sanskrit is. Sanskrit is an ancient language, originating back in like India, that part of the world. It's very much still used in India. It originates back to like 1700 to 1200 BC. So it's a very sacred language. And we still use, obviously, Sanskrit because yoga and the chakras originate from Sanskrit, from India. That's where the chakras, the chakra knowledge came from. So we honor the names still in Sanskrit. So Sanskrit name for the root chakra is called Muladhara, and it's just located at the base of our spine, and it is associated with safety, security, stability, foundation, grounding, and survival instincts. So lessons related to the chakra is about the physical world. So as you can see, root chakra is very much foundational. It's your stability. It's like it's your house. You can't build a house without a proper foundation. So it is so much important. It is so important to look after your root chakra. And so we accumulate so much stuff in the root from like our childhood, our teenage years, as well as past lives, if you believe reincarnation. So the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus chakra, so the 3 lower chakras, they accumulate all of the stuff basically from like all of our emotions. They're very heavy chakras in terms of like, emotional like suppression. Anything you suppress are like stored in there, any bit of trauma. So if we're not looking on releasing our emotions, or everything that's kind of holding us back, our fears, our chakras get stagnant and they get like really heavy and like clammy, so this is why it's so important to look especially at the lower 3 chakras. So they're basically like storage facility. Okay. So the seed mantra for the root chakra is Lam. So a seed mantra, it's basically like a prayer. If you see like yogis, they do chanting, so it's like they're doing like little prayers. What they're doing when they're chanting Lam for the root chakra, they're trying to balance it and open it up to get the energy flow going. So there is different seed mantras for every single chakra, and when you chant it out loud, like I said, yeah, you keep it. You're trying to balance it. You're trying to get the flow going, and you're also kind of signaling to your nervous system that it is okay to relax. So once your nervous system is in a state of relaxation, of course you're going to get more flow and life force in the root. So the color for the root chakra is red. So if you see like people wearing like lots of red color, they're like instinctively, you know, looking for that like security or like you know, that fire, but like it's actually like a very grounding, like it's a very much foundational color. So the element for the root chakra is earth. So there's different every chakra corresponds with an element. So the element is earth. It's self-explanatory here. If you think about earth, it's very much grounding, it's the foundation. And the gland for the root chakra is adrenal gland. So it's corresponding to the gland. So if your adrenals are out of whack, so is your root, and if your root is out of balance, so is your adrenal gland. And as you know, adrenal glands are responsible for our fight and flight response. So like your response, like to stress. So like if your adrenal gland is exhausted, like your immunity is low, you are like nervous, you're really like all over the place, and you're not really calm, you know. So like you just imagine you're just exhausted, you can't think straight. So if your adrenals are not working properly, you need to look at your root chakra. So the root chakra belongs together with the large intestine, rectum, feet and legs. So if you have like any inflammation in the legs, say any problems with your knees or anywhere in the lower area or your hips, it's to do with your root chakra, and it also has a certain influence on the function of the kidneys. So like, you know, if you have a like say black eyes, like you know, when you get tired, that's the root chakra. Like your adrenals you're just so fatigued. So this is why. So then we look at when the root chakra is balanced, unbalanced, overactive, and underactive. So your root chakra is balanced. You will feel safe, you feel stable, confident, you're trusting, and you feel secure. So when it's unbalanced, you may feel fearful, distrusting, feeling out of control, unable to make decisions, and you have financial issues. So root chakra can also be overactive and underactive. So overactive, you can feel like you have aggression in the body, you have dominant behavior, paranoia, you're a bit nervous, you tend to hoard things or overeat. But there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so like say for example, hoarding here, it's like your body, like you're trying to make yourself feel safe. So you're like trying to hoard, to hold on to things, but this is like your root is screaming at you, like, oh my God, like you need to relax. So obviously we'll look at different ways on how we can do that. But this is one of the things that kind of came to me as well. Like, you know, when I was like hoarding things, I like hoarded so many jeans when I was younger, like from the ages of like 15 to 25. Back in the day, it was like I had about 40 pairs of jeans because I couldn't throw them out. I was like, I felt like if I threw them out, I just wouldn't have enough. So, okay. And then underactive, you may feel depressed, just lethargic. You have a fear of change, neglection of self, feelings of not belonging, poor discipline, and poor boundaries. Okay, so how do we balance our root chakra? So we can balance our root chakras or all our chakras with crystals, because crystals have like specific frequency that they send out, so that they balance our energy bodies. So crystals for the root chakra are very good, like red jasper, garnet, bloodstone, tiger's eye, hematite, black tourmaline, and obsidian. I remember when I first got into crystals in Reiki, I kept getting like black tourmaline and obsidian. Like I'd order like say an amethyst, say for my third eye, but the girls would send me an extra obsidian, extra tourmaline, because they're actually very protective crystals, especially if you are working with energy. Like you want to make sure that your energy is nice and protected, and that's for everybody. It's just like, you know, you get these like energy vampires, and sometimes they don't even know that they are like leeching your energy. It's just that it just happens, you know. They feel you have energy and they kind of take it consciously. So it's just important to protect yourself. So obsidian and tourmaline are very good. They're very grounding and protective. And so affirmations then that you can use for your root is: I am safe, I'm protected, I'm secure, I love my body, the universe always provides for me. And then the food then, anything red. So like you could see there, like tomatoes, strawberries, red apples, and anything that's like grounding. So especially for this time of year, like, you know, cooked vegetables, cooked stews, like proper potatoes, and protein-rich foods, like protein, because they're like the building blocks, they give us strength. So very important. So like you're building the foundation. So at the bottom. So then we also have solfeggio. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm just gonna go with it. Solfeggio frequencies. I love listening to these. They're so calming. But for the root one, it's called 396 hertz. And let me see if I have it here in my notes as well. Do I have anything extra about it? Let me see. What does this one do? So the 396, yeah. So it's for it's associated with safety and security. It is when you listen to it, it helps with anxiety and fear. So listening to this frequency can help ground us and stabilize us. So again, it is specific, like the crystals, so are the frequencies, because initially frequency is energy. So this is why they're available like on YouTube, Spotify. Yeah, brilliant finds. I can share my playlist with you as well with the solfeggio frequencies if you want after the class. Just let me know. And then we have mantras. So mantras are, like we were talking about mantras earlier, they're like little sacred prayers. They're like the sounds that balance and open up your chakras. So the mantra for the root is Lam. And so obviously the root meditations, the root chakra meditations, envisioning color red. And then yoga poses like child's pose, child's pose. So obviously like the child's pose is like when you're just down on the floor, your head is on the ground. It's very grounding, like your whole body is just on the ground. You want to be near ground. So I know there's a couple of yoga teachers here. So if you have any more yoga positions for grounding, let us know. And energy healing. So if you do Reiki is very good, magnify healing or Hani, whatever energy healing you are most kind of interested in, whatever kind of fits you most. But energy healing is very much supported for the chakras. Like this is what we do. We clear energy in Reiki. We see if there is imbalances in the chakra system. And practitioners, obviously there's some yoga or Reiki practitioners here as well. And all the practitioners that say do Reiki, we all feel energy different. Some are clairvoyant, is when you can see if there is an imbalance in your chakra system. Some can feel it in their own body. Like sometimes I can feel like, say, a ting or something, like a little tickle or something, and but it could be shown where the imbalance is. Some people so it's a feeling. It's like, you know, practitioners know where kind of to go with their hands when they're working with the energy. So very much recommended for the chakra balance. And if you don't have like a practitioner that you go to, I definitely recommend doing a Reiki level 1 for like everyone, because it's such a gift to be able to tap into it and do the energy healing on yourself. And there's also EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, or MET, which stands for Modern Energy Tapping. So basically, if let me see. Yeah, so basically it's tapping. So what we do in MET or EFT is you are tapping on the meridian points. And when you tap on the specific, say, meridian acupressure points on the body, you're releasing stress. You're releasing stress, you're releasing emotion, and you're like telling your nervous system that it is safe. And you use specific words then to tap into the energy body. It does sound a bit cuckoo and bananas before I even tried it, and then when I did try it, it was really powerful. And I think there's one girl here, you've done I think it was tapping EFT, and you said you couldn't believe how powerful it was. I remember telling my family that I was doing some tapping, and I was showing them what I was doing. They're like, "You're absolutely mad. What are you doing tapping on the meridian? What are you doing tapping on your face?" But I was like, it works. I was like, don't knock it until you try it. It's very much practice all over the world, and it is so powerful when you get into it. So I definitely recommend for you to try some tapping on the body. Okay, so then wearing red, walking barefoot outdoors. Obviously, I haven't grounded outdoors for 2 months because it's freezing. So what I do instead, having like a salt bath, like a salt bath, like Himalayan salt baths are very grounding. Or just still working with the crystals, especially like the darker crystals, and like even putting them at the end of your feet, just to feel that connection and grounding yourself, because you could be just so overwhelmed up there in your higher chakras, but you need to bring yourself down, that you're not like mentally somewhere else. You need to like kind of anchor those thoughts into here and the now. So working with the crystals again, and if you do go outside to ground, like kudos, fair play to you. But it's so frosty, I just couldn't do it. Somatic practices are very good, so anything to do with the body, and gardening, dance, and exercise. So anything that makes you feel that you are in your body will help with the root chakra. So I'm just going to check the chat there. I didn't really see. Sukhasana, easy seat. Oh yeah, thank you, Vicky. Thanks for that. Easy seat is very good for the root chakra. Thank you. So guys, do you have any questions? Are we all good? I'm just going to move on to the sacral chakra, and let me see if there's any more chat. Yeah, just shout if you have any more questions. So next, sacral chakra. So the Sanskrit name for the sacral chakra is Svadhisthana chakra, located below our navel, just near the lower abdomen, and it is associated with creativity, sensuality, self-worth, and emotional well-being, lessons related to relationships. So this is like I said earlier, storage facilities for all the stuff that we don't want to deal with, especially related to relationships, to any relationship. So you could just imagine, if we don't release any emotion or fears out of this energy center, how our relationships can't be like as fruitful as we say want them to be, because there's so much storage, say stored trauma or whatever is in that, and we operate from that. Like we still operate from that, like say programming. It's like a computer. It's like, it's recorded all your experiences, and it's just stored in the lower 3 chakras. And if we don't wipe it clean once in a blue moon, we're still running the same old program. We're still in the same loop over and over and over again. So this is where I see stuff in like Akashic, because in Akashic in Akashic readings is because you're repeating the same pattern. But sometimes this is what your soul chose to do, and it's like, you know, you're learning until you decide, okay, I don't want to repeat this pattern, and then you move on. So very much a big energy center for relationships. So the seed mantra is VAM. So say if you're sitting in meditation and you really want to connect to your sacral chakra and send like healing to it, VAM is the mantra, like finding, so meditating on VAM, meditating on the color orange, and also connecting to the element of water. So if you want to balance your sacral, really connect to the water element, like the shower, bath, ocean, like even water in a sink, is just to, like, you can imagine, you know, if the water is like, you know, like the ocean, it's angry, it's like your sacral is angry, but when it's calm, like it's nice and flowy. So kind of a little representation here for you. On the gland, then the sacral is connected to is a reproductive gland, so ovaries and testes. And then the sacral chakra corresponds together with the urinary bladder and the kidneys. So any form of stress which is connecting the bladder or the kidneys, you have to look at your sacral chakra. So it's balanced when you have a healthy creative expression. So yeah, you have balanced hormones, able to experience pleasure, you're generous and giving and nurturing, you're nurturing to self, and you have healthy boundaries. So yeah, and unbalanced, then we have disorders of the reproductive organs, the urinary system, gallbladder, and the kidney. You have menstrual difficulties, sexual dysfunction, and lack of flexibility. And underactive, then, like you may be unemotional, could be guarded, sexual repression, and lack of desire and passion. And then overactive, it's excessive sex drive, compulsive behaviors, overly emotional, and emotional codependency. And, you know, the chakras can be, I think, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, they can be overactive and underactive at the same time. So you could like flip and flop back and forth. So this is why we want to make sure that we are balanced, because you're not going to feel balanced all the time. Like the stressors of everyday life, they're obviously going to affect us all. So it is important to check in with your chakra system, say every week, every month. You know, it should be like an ongoing practice. This is the message that I'm kind of getting all the time. It's just so that as we progress in our like knowledge and capabilities, we have to like tune into the chakra system more and really look after our energy body. So like I said, the feelings of fear, blame, and guilt are stored here too. So anything that we repress, kind of brush under the carpet, I don't want to be looking at that. It's kind of stored there. So the ways you can balance your sacral chakra is, again, crystals, citrine, carnelian, moonstone, aquamarine, and tiger's eye. So like I said, just do your research on crystals, see the ones that you can connect with. Like say, you might connect with some and you don't with others. There's like say a way that you can look after them. Say for certain crystals you can't put them underwater. So just to be aware of that. And affirmations you can use for your sacral is: I'm creative, I honor my desires, I embrace my sexuality, I'm authentically creating a life free of stress and full of bliss. And with affirmations, just maybe research affirmations, or like kind of tune into like your body and see what it's right, like what feels and sounds right for you. Like there's no point in saying an affirmation if it doesn't click with you and you just don't believe it. Like, you know, when you repeat something and you're like, no, it's just not making sense. So something that is in a positive, like I am, like I do, like that you are like in the present moment, but something that you can, like you think you can do and you can achieve. So foods then to balance your sacral, orange kind of hues, so peaches, oranges, mangoes, sweet potatoes, and nuts. And Self-Vega frequencies for the sacral chakra is 417 hertz. This will help, we can connect to our creative side, okay, and start manifesting our desires. Okay, so this frequency can help us let go of old patterns that no longer serve us. So this is just like pinpointed there to the relationships, like I was saying, like you want to get out of the cycle. So by just listening to that, where, like, say, tuning into the color orange, meditating on the orange, saying the mantra VAM, these are all different practices that you can stimulate your sacral, connecting to the water. And yeah, oh, and obviously then there's yoga, there's meditations, you can journal on the stuff that that you want to self-reflect on. Dancing is really good for the sacral. Art, and but whatever your preferred expression is. And yeah, tapping, I think I've done everything here. And like yoga, like a frog pose or bridge pose. There's specific like chakra meditation classes available in so many places now. So so solar plexus chakra, I just want to see if I can't see the chat, so I do apologize. I hope we're still on the same page. Let me see. Yeah, so solar plexus chakra then, the Sanskrit name is Manipura. It is located in the upper abdomen, just below the chest, and is associated with personal power, personal responsibility, self-confidence, self-worth, and determination and willpower. It is also the chakra of our ego. So the seed mantra for the solar plexus is Ram. The color with this chakra is yellow, and the element is fire. So it is really like our power center. So anything to do with power, self-confidence, you know, your throat chakra, your ability to speak up for yourself, or just trying to be like, you know, yourself, like you're not afraid to be you when you speak out. Like your throat chakra is connected to your solar plexus very much, because this is where we get our power, and this is where our confidence is very much affected since we were children. So the gland that is associated with the solar plexus is the pancreas gland. So the pancreas gland, it's responsible then for digestion, your metabolism, and your endocrine system. So the endocrine system then is responsible then for your hormones. So like, say if your hormones are all over the place, this is your solar plexus chakra. And so we have like, I think 50 types of hormones. So like a little bit of a change of one hormone can completely disrupt like your whole system. So really looking at like the pancreas gland is so very much like it's so important, but like so overlooked. So it is associated with the solar plexus, so just to keep that in mind. It relates to the liver, your gallbladder, your stomach, your spleen, and the small intestine. So like any digestive issues is to do with the solar plexus. And we'll just have a look when it's balanced, when it's unbalanced. So balanced, so we are responsible, and we feel reliable, we have healthy self-esteem, we are spontaneous, we are playful, sense of humor. So we have sense of humor, we're able to make decisions and meet challenges. We have warmth in our personality. Unbalanced then, we have low self-esteem, lack of self-trust, we will poor digestion, victim mentality, unable to take responsibility, attraction to stimulants, and not feeling good enough. And I can see this like across the board, including myself. It's a continuous chakra that needs to be worked on, because like, say, not feeling good enough, like how many of us like don't feel good enough because we are so judgmental like of us, like you know, like, so just to be, you know, more self-loving and really trying to balance this little power center. And yeah, I can't wait to get into how we can balance this. So underactive then, eating eating. I was like interacting, eating. I'm not sure what I meant by eating here in interactive. So I cannot remember. Eating intestinal. Anyway, leave, that's a misprint, definitely. Digestive disorders, that's the imbalance in the solar plexus. Diabetes, eczema, acne, food allergies, chronic fatigue, and depression. Okay, and if it's overactive, you may be overly aggressive. You need to be right. You need to be bossy, power hungry, competitive, self-centered. And like we said again, it's not always that you could be like aggressive or like bossy. Sometimes you could be bossy, and sometimes, you know, you're feeling shit. You're feeling depressed. So it's like you always go from one to the other if it's unbalanced. So let's see how we can balance our power center. So crystals again is citrine, malachite, calcite, yellow tourmaline, emerald, and sapphire. Citrine is such a beautiful crystal to work with, especially now because we're in year 8. If you follow numerology, year 8 is all about money, achievement, and personal power. So citrine is definitely a great crystal to work with. Any of the crystals that I've mentioned here are brilliant to work with, the solar plexus. But citrine is my favorite, and the emerald is the new one that was mentioned in the Akashics for this year. Emerald is the color for abundance, for abundance and for strength. Okay, so the emerald, if you ever are going Christmas shopping, crystal shopping, get yourself an emerald. Affirmations then: I am powerful, I'm courageous, I am enough, I manifest with ease and grace, I'm confident, I am free from limitations from others. It's like if you find like a lovely affirmation meditation for, say, the solar plexus chakra on YouTube and just fall asleep to it, that'll do the job. Okay, and then the foods, then we have yellow foods will balance out the solar plexus. When we're saying when you're eating the foods, like it's obviously with intention. So like, you know, like when you're eating like a banana, pineapple, just kind of think to yourself again, okay, that's for my solar plexus. Because at the end of, like, if you think about it, so the yellow foods, the solar plexus is connected to your pancreas, to your pancreas gland. It's your digestion. So bananas are good for digestion. It's really good for your stomach, and pineapple as well, good for digestion because it has, I'm not sure what kind of minerals it has, but it's really good for digesting food. But like it's a citric acid, and it's very good for coughs. So remember when I said the solar plexus is connected to the throat. So eating pineapple when you have a sore throat, is very beneficial, as throat and solar plexus are really like they're interconnected. And so anything you see like kind of yellow, turmeric, ginger, oats, and quinoa. Quinoa then obviously so good for the protein intake. We also have solfeggio frequency of 528 hertz. So music of this frequency helps us reconnect to who we are. It can also help us to make decisions from a place of strength and mental clarity. So you can use a mantra, Ram, R-A-M. Like we said earlier, Ram is the mantra for the solar plexus. Solar plexus meditations, envision color yellow, try to wear yellow. Yoga poses like boat pose and a cobra pose. Again, energy healing is very good for the energy centers. Tapping, because we're working with the body, like we want to make sure, like again with the 3 lower chakras, that we feel safe in the body, that we don't feel burnt out. We are feeling safe and we feel secure. And when you feel safe and secure within your own body, then you can create, and then you can call in whatever you want. But you need to make sure that you have a stable foundation. So body work with the 3 lower chakras is very important. Then aromatherapy. So like with every chakra here as well, aromatherapy is so good, like working with essential oils and diffusing them in your diffuser, getting the oils, putting them on your body, especially like lavender before sleep, or lavender, like say on your throat, when you want to speak, say speak up, or you have a project or course coming up when you need to speak somewhere publicly, the use of essential oils. I know I didn't actually leave any essential oils for every chakra, but sure, look, connect with the sun and the fire element, and do, say, cardio. So obviously, cardio is anything physical, and say I choose to instead of I have to. Just like I suppose in affirmation, it's like it's gonna give it, when you say it, like say that sentence there, I choose to instead of I have to, you're giving yourself you're bringing that power back again to you, because you have the power. Nobody's making you do it. You choose to do it. Like say, and obviously that's like, you need to like analyze what you have to do, like, and what you choose to do. But for example, like, you know, when you say like I have to take my dog to the vet, but like you can say I choose to take my dog to the vet because I love my dog, and you know, I want them to be healthy and have the funds to keep them healthy. It's all about how we speak about ourselves and about reality. So I start actually doing that more often. Like, I choose to do it. Like I choose to do the dishes, and I'm like, do I choose to? But I suppose I choose to do it because then I don't have to do it later. Okay, so then I just want to see, I can't see the chat, so I'm hoping that everybody is still okay. Let me see. Okay, I can't see the chat, so I'll just keep going. Okay, so we have the heart chakra here. Or can somebody just like unmute and say, no, we're still here, because I can't see anything.
Oh, great here.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. Thanks so much. Okay, so we're on the heart chakra. So the Sanskrit name for the heart chakra is Anahata, located in the center of the chest, and it is associated with love, self-love, compassion, emotional balance, happiness, forgiveness, and governs our relationships. So the seed mantra for the heart chakra is Yam, and the color is green or pink. The element is air. The gland we associate with the heart is the thymus gland. The thymus gland. Okay, so the thymus gland, obviously, it is so important. So the heart chakra there, it belongs with the heart and the arms. So the thymus gland is responsible for like making T cells, so your white blood cells, and these white blood cells then they help us to fight infection. So when the heart chakra and the thymus, we need to make sure that they're like in good balance, and anything to do with the arms as well. This is to do with the heart chakra also. And okay, so when our heart chakra is balanced, we feel compassionate, understanding, love of self and others, empathetic, strong immune system, and feelings of inner peace. Unbalanced then, disorders of the heart, the lungs, thymus gland, breasts, and arms, premature aging, and that's to do obviously with the thymus. With the thymus gland, it's responsible how we age. You know, there's just some people age like fine wine, and then upper back pain, anything to do with like the shoulders, circulation problems, asthma, immune system deficiency. So underactive heart chakra is you can be shy, fear of getting hurt, feelings of loneliness and being unloved, suspicion, possessive, antisocial, judgmental, and fear of relationships. So there's a lot going on there, and yeah, there's a lot going on there, and I'm sure like every one of us has felt something here. And then overactive, you're overly empathetic, you're overly concerned, there's jealousy, you have poor boundaries, codependency, there's clinging, tendency to stay in abusive relationships, and overly sacrificing. And again, yes, we can go from one way and to the other way. So how to balance your heart chakra. So crystals, for the heart chakra, we have rose quartz, jade, green calcite, and aventurine. I actually got myself an aventurine crystal. I said I'm going to this year work with a lot of green, a lot of blue. So aventurine definitely for the heart. Affirmations: I am worthy and deserving of love. I radiate love. I love myself unconditionally. I am fully open to receive love, and I choose joy. So, like, you know, it's not like an egotistical thing to say, I love me. Not at all. Like, you need to love yourself. It's like unconditionally, because if you don't love yourself, how can like you give love to others? You can't love them fully. And how can they love you if you don't love yourself first? So making sure you give yourself that self-care and that you look after yourself first. Foods that we can have to balance our heart chakra is like anything green, like leafy greens, avocados, good for the heart, kale, asparagus, kiwis. And then sulfate frequencies for the heart chakra is 639 hertz, and is said to help us heal old wounds and create relationships based on love and understanding. It is also said to help us connect with our higher self. And mantra again for the heart is YAM, Y-A-M. Heart chakra meditations, envision color green or pink. Yoga poses like cat cow, so anything to do with our upper body and our shoulders, like head rolls or anything kind of stretchy in the upper body. Energy healing again, tapping, working with the body. Wearing green or wearing pink. Self-love practices, like bringing yourself out on a date, booking in for a massage, having a relaxing bath, whatever tickles your fancy. But you make sure you get that date in with yourself, even if it's once a month or so. Okay. See, throat chakra, I hope I'm not going too fast. There is a lot to go over, so I don't want to be here all night, like taking up all your time. So yeah, let me know if I'm going too fast and I can slow down. We have a throat chakra up next. So the Sanskrit name for is Visuddha, located in the middle. Could be pronounced it wrong, but located in the middle of the throat, and it is associated with self-expression, inner power, communication, truth, and authenticity. And the seed mantra is HAM, H-A-M. The color associated with the throat is blue. The element then is ether and space. And the gland associated with the throat is thyroid gland. And what is thyroid responsible for? It is responsible for growth and maturity. And it is connected then to, obviously, the throat chakra is related to the lungs and our actual throat here. One of the major kind of chakras going like it's like going through like an evolution there the last year or so, and I think more of us are stepping in, kind of using our voices more and more. Lots of throat chakra activations going on. So balanced throat chakra, you're a good listener, you communicate easily and clearly, you live creatively, you speak with confidence, you express yourself freely, you're comfortable with body language, you're good at offering people sound advice. Unbalanced then, you have problems with like the nasal area, teeth or gums, irritated sinuses, jaw pain, like disorders of the ears, voice or neck, lack of creative expression, indecisiveness, unwillingness to accept criticism, disorders of the ears. Like I used to have that for years, like so bad, like really bad ear like ear infections and everything when I was small, and I was very shy. Like I wouldn't say like boo like to anyone, like so shy, so like reserved. And it took a lot of work for me to work my throat chakra, and I'm not even halfway there. But like lots of healing on the throat I have to do to overcome like of for like, you know, the fear of like using my voice, and very indecisive. So indecisive. So working on that, like it's a work in progress. So it is I just love seeing how everything is just so interconnected. Then underactive throat chakra, suppressed feelings, like fear of expressing yourself, fear of offending others, you're shy, you have a weak voice, not being able to be honest with yourself, you're often being misinterpreted or misunderstood. And like that is the fear that we kind of have sometimes, like, oh God, I hope they didn't take me the wrong way, and that's like, it's okay like to speak your truth if you're coming from the heart, like you're not trying to offend anybody. So people will get you if you're coming from the heart space. And then overactive, excessive talking, stuttering, inability to listen, gossiping, loud or dominating voice, tendency to interrupt, over opinionated and critical, and bossy. So there's a lot going on here, getting in a throat. So how to balance your throat chakra. So crystals, like, I'm a sucker now for pronouncing things. So lapis lazuli, so I'm hoping I'm saying it right. I do have one, and aquamarine, blue tapas, and blue turquoise crystals. So affirmations that you can say to yourself: I speak my inner truth. I have integrity. My voice matters. I listen to others without judgment. So say if you believe like in like past lives and reincarnation, we actually may be like holding on to, like, well, I have been, because in my records I found that like I've been holding on to, like, say, certain trauma from a past life, and I was like afraid to like speak my truth because or like speak up at all, because I was afraid that I'll be like judged or critiqued or like murdered. So basically, so we could still be subconsciously holding on to things from our past, like a past lives, or even the stuff that happened to us, for example, like say in childhood, and we kind of forgot about it, but subconsciously it's still there affecting us. So foods then to balance your throat chakra is like blueberries, anything to do with the sorry, before I go on, yeah, because I just kind of left it there, like, so yeah, basically, yeah, it's your subconscious now, and you can't do anything. So subconsciously what you could do is to clear that fear that's like kind of there, like at the back, and you just don't know how to clear it. There's like clearings you can do there, like Reiki energy healing or hypnosis, working like talk therapy, or like any type of coaching. But hypnosis is very much very much powerful, or like any type of like energy clearing. Okay, so then the foods associated with the throat chakra that we could balance balance it with is blueberries, plums, blackberries, and warm herbal teas. The solfeggio frequency is 741 hertz. And by listening to this frequency, we can open up to our higher purpose and begin to express ourselves in more authentic and creative ways. Mantra for the throat, we said HAM, HAM, throat chakra meditations, envisioning color blue, yoga poses like the bridge pose or like the forward fold pose, energy healing sessions, tapping again, speaking up about something you have been holding back on, like finding a room preferably with a great resonance. To sing, chant, and hum, practice being present when the other person speaks. Be there with your whole being. Sorry, I just wanted to see. Oh yeah, I got a question there. Sorry, question. So when working with crystals to help balance the chakras, there's a difference. I can't see this now. I'll move that. Oh, for some reason I can't see it. There's a difference if the crystal is polished or raw chunk. No, there's no who asked me that now? I'm so bad with thing. But there's no difference in whether it's raw or whether it's polished. They all do the same thing. They're all kind of they all have the same kind of frequency going off them. Oh, sorry, somebody's up from the bed. I'll just keep going. Okay. The third eye chakra here. We have 2 more chakras left. So Sanskrit name for the ajna is Sanskrit name for the throat chakra is ajna. So located at the center of the forehead. So it's between the eyebrows. It is associated with intuition, insight, wisdom, trust, and spiritual awareness. So our ability to see clearly, both physically and intuitively, ability to think and make decisions. The seed mantra for the third eye chakra is Soham or Ksham, like it could spelled Ksham. So depending on what kind of you want to chant, Soham or Ksham. And the element is light. It is connected to our pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland is like the master gland, and it tells like every other gland in the body like what to do. And then the color associated with the third eye is purple, like indigo color. And it is very much associated like with our face, our nose, and our brain. Okay, so let me see if I missed any chat here. No, perfect. Okay, so third eye chakra, it is it's balanced when you feel intuitive, when you feel psychic, optimistic, perceptive, imaginative, aware, like you're aware, you have good memory, and you can recall dreams. Like an imbalanced third eye chakra can be like headaches or migraines, personality disorders. Could have scalp issues, vision problems like mental illnesses or neurological disorders and seizures. Underactive third eye chakra is inability to plan or set goals, like narrow-mindedness, denial or poor vision or memory, difficulty seeing the future or a lack of imagination. And then it can be overactive. You're like obsessed with psychic vision, or there's paranoia, there's hallucinations, tendency to space out, so difficulty concentrating and nightmares. So like, yes, if you think about the third eye and the crown and like the higher chakras, if you're like up in the higher realms all the time, of course you're not going to be able to like say concentrate or focus or make decisions because you're not really in the body. So like, you know, if you just want to be like, oh, I just want to be spiritual, I just want to meditate, and like you're just in your head all the time, or like you're just mentally thinking, you're constantly doing something, and if you're not sitting in silence, you're like overstimulating yourself like mentally. So this is when your third eye chakra is just like out of whack. So let's have a look at how we can balance it. So for the third eye chakra, crystals that we can use is amethyst. I love amethyst and selenite. So like I have the selenite and amethyst here. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a very angelic crystal for like clear thoughts and clarity. And then I have this lovely amethyst here as well. Very much like very stimulating for the third eye. Okay, and affirmations you can say to yourself, I trust my intuition. I see deeper truth. I am connected to my purpose and to my true path. I have a healthy mind and I hear my inner voice. So the foods that you can do to stimulate your third eye chakra is cacao and dark chocolate, purple cabbage, blueberries, blackberries, grapes, chia seeds, and other foods high in omega-3s. So really anything that's good for brain health. Omega-3s, 6 and 9s, just for the head, then for the crown actually. So take your frequency to do with the third eye is 852 hertz. By listening to that, it will help you to tap into your psychic abilities and sense things beyond the physical world. It helps you with meditation and relaxation. So with the third eye mantra is, like we said, Soham. Do meditations can balance your third eye, envisioning color purple, yoga poses like child's pose again, because you're like on the floor, you're stimulating your third eye because your head is like touching the floor, or like downward dog, because like you're basically allowing the life force energy, the chi, to flow from like your lower parts of the body into your head, like, or legs up the wall. This is like a brilliant say position to do at the end of the day, especially if you're wrecked after work, and you'll sleep. Like I used to fall asleep after 10 minutes with my legs up, and I'd wake up, my legs still be up on the wall. So like it's a great way to fall asleep with your legs up on a wall. If you can, if you're finding it hard to get to sleep. Energy healing, obviously, again, tapping, breath work, mudras are hand positions that say the yogis use, because when you do like certain hand positions, like say these kind of like, they're called like mudras, like any type of kind of mudras, what you're basically doing, like you're interlocking your, like say, fingers, and these type of hand positions, they activate and they balance your chakras. So if you see, like say a yogi sitting down, like in a lotus position, sitting down, they have like their mudras, their hand positions, is because they are opening and they're balancing the flow within the energy body. And sun gazing is very much it's just so beneficial for the third eye, like stimulate it. Like say if there's a sunrise, sunset, even like working with the fire or looking at the fire. The crown chakra then, so this is the last chakra of the body. So connected, it is the top of their head, and it is associated with spiritual connection, higher consciousness, enlightenment, and accessing spiritual wisdom. And the seed mantra is Om. Some people say there's no mantra, it's just silence. So in order to stimulate the crown chakra, it is like advised to sit with yourself like for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can, just in silence, but nothing. This would like stimulate the crown chakra to open it up. The color, it's either white or violet. The element is consciousness, and it is connected to our pineal gland. So pineal gland, like it represents like the pine cone. It looks like a pine cone when you look at the, say, the brain like x-ray. So that's where it got its name, because it's like a pine, so like a pineal gland, and it is responsible for your melatonin production, so for your sleep, and wake cycle. So the crown chakra then doesn't have a corresponding organ, but it is related to the whole being. Okay, so the crown chakra then, we feel balanced. So you see beauty and divinity in all things. You're able to experience unity with everyone and everything around you. Higher awareness, you have faith, you have ability to have the utmost clarity and enlightened wisdom. The crown chakra brings feelings of serenity, joy, and deep peace about life. So it's underactive when we lack inspiration, and when there's greed, when we are materialistic, and we have mental fog. And then overactive, there's lack of empathy, sense of elitism, so like dominance over somebody, superiority, disconnected from your body and earthly matters. So you're very much in your head, you're definitely not grounding. Inability to concentrate or make decisions, and headaches. You may be sensitive to light, or you have like loss of contact with reality. So let's see how we can balance this crown chakra. So crystals, like I mentioned earlier, like the selenite and the amethyst, they're both very good for the third eye and the crown. Clear quartz and diamond. So if you have any diamonds on your fingers, like, that's good. The affirmations: I'm infinite, I'm divine, I'm at peace, I'm connected to the universe, I'm aligned with my soul purpose and my truth. Foods then that you can use to balance your crown chakra is fasting. That's not foods, but you know, fasting is very good for the crown chakra, and like pure water. So power foods that are good for balancing the crown is the coconut, garlic, and onion. Obviously, they're white. So we know what you put into your body matters, as you absorb the energy you eat. And it's like, obviously, not to be like hard on ourselves. We're not here to be like eating like organically every day, because we're here for the human experience. We're trying to, like, you know, experience all the foods and enjoy all the foods. But when you want to make sure that you want to open up and balance open up and ensure that it's flow in the crown chakra. It's, you know, then like it is recommended to eat food that would like energize you, that would give you like nutritional value, to have like the high vibrational frequency, rather than like say the dead food, like say like the burger or the chocolate. You know, there needs to be like a balance. So then the solfeggio frequencies is 963 hertz. It helps us to connect with the divine and our highest self. It promotes a feeling of peace and bliss and connects us to our higher purpose. So sitting in silence would stimulate the crown chakra mantras. So like again, sitting in silence, or you can say om, om, meditations, tapping, breath work, envision color white or violet, yoga poses like a tree pose, a headstand. I wouldn't do a headstand now, but if I tried, but you know, I just put it out there in case people want to try. Maybe supported headstand or a shoulder stand. Lotus pose when you're just like sitting down. So expand your mind with books and podcasts. Spend time in nature. Wear white, violet, and light colors. So yeah, just to get like inspired and get any ideas, books and podcasts are very much supported then when you want to balance out your crown. But in saying that, like when you want to balance your crown chakra, it is also important to kind of suppose understand, like if you are like meditating a lot and you know, you just want to be like say in meditation, like that's just gonna overstimulate it. So make sure that you're like, when you're meditating, you bring yourself back down again. So that's like grounding again. So you're working with the chakra system as a whole, that you're not just working on the one that you are trying to, you know, get whatever the meditation, but then bring yourself into the body, do some stretches, have a cup of tea, have something grounding, to make sure that you are balanced. Because like this is like the initial, like I suppose you know, why we're here is to trying to balance kind of the energy so that we're in alignment, because then when we're in alignment, we are able to like co-create with the universe and everything kind of flows to us with ease, rather than us like you know, like having blocks and having issues. So let me see. Yeah, so that's the end of it now. This is like Q&A. So I'm gonna like stop sharing.